Fall is all about cozy comforts, and with Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your favorites and still hit your health goals. From breakfast bagels and meal prepped enchiladas to mouth-watering burgers and cheesy noodles. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion, located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street, in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. Hello and welcome to Nick and Roy's Best of and Bloopers. Nick and Roy are truly grateful for your loyalty to the show. With over 65 countries around the world and across Canada on the iHeartRadio Talk Network, your appetite for totally useless information continues to grow day by day. Today, we will highlight not only the bloopers and blunders, but we'll also revisit some of your favorite segments. And of course, the fan favorite news stories from around the world. Let's get started. Nick was sharing a fact that the maker of the Statue of Liberty was not getting any government support to deliver the statue. So, a newspaper magnate came to the rescue. No, Nick, not that kind of magnet.
In the end, it was Joseph Pulitzer, the American newspaper magnate, who helped him finish the job by printing the names of every person who donated even a penny to the cause. The strategy rapidly boosted the circulation of Pulitzer's newspaper when readers bought a copy simply to see their names in the paper, a very brilliant marketing strategy.
Yeah, and it must have been very hard for Pulitzer to walk around town with all those newspapers attached to him.
Right, he was. He was a real
He was a newspaper magnate, you said, so...
Did I mean magnate? What is it? What's the word?
No, he was a newspaper magnate. So I said it must have been hard to walk around town with all those.
Yeah,
Nick, stay with the joke. Stay with, folks. Yeah. Marijuana is legal in Canada. So this is the effect right here.
No, it's not.
You ever see the commercial "Brain on Drugs"? This is what
right.
It's like.
Yeah, there's your eggs over easy again.
In this next clip, we find Nick searching for his mouse.
On the show today, we talked about fashion, we talked about food, we talked about history. It's time. I can't find the mouse. Hang on. Where's the mouse? Get the dog to...
I can't find the mouse.
On the show. 3, 2...
If you have listened to the show enough times, you will totally understand how a simple noise in the background can take center stage.
In 1644... You remember that, Nick, right?
Yes, I do.
English statesman Oliver Cromley, he banned the eating and making of pie.
Really?
What'd you pop a thing of champagne there?
I was celebrating it. I love pie.
He popped the champagne and said, "Burnt toast."
Yeah.
They're not messing around with that brain. They got to find it first.
And when we do, we'll have burnt toast.
Every week, Nick and Roy answer your emails in the mailbag segment.
Charlie from the Bronx, New York, our old stomping grounds. Charlie says, "Dear Nick and Roy, we love listening to your show with our poker buddies. After a night of poker, we ask..." 3, 2. After a night, I don't know what I wrote there, but it wasn't in English.
No, even what you said was just you stopped. You said after a night of
poker.
No, but you said poker.
Yes.
And I was thinking about my high school days again.
Yes. Poker, hardly knew her.
You can send Nick and Roy an email. Go to nickandroy.com and click on Contact Us. You're listening to Nick and Roy's Best of and Bloopers. Nick and Roy have been friends since high school. After hearing this next clip, we're not exactly sure what they learned.
46 BC, which comes right after 44 BC. I know it doesn't. Yeah. That particular year, 46 BC, was 445 days long and is the longest year in human history.
What?
Nicknamed the Year of Confusion, this year had 2 extra leap months inserted by Julius Caesar. This was in order to make his newly formed Julian calendar match up with the seasonal year. Maybe that's why they stabbed him. They didn't like the fact that it took 445 days for the year to go by. So they said, you know what, we're had enough of this. But Julius Caesar added the extra 2 leap months in order for it to line up.
Wow.
There you
So
go.
this was all done before his death.
That's right, 46 BC.
Well, this was in 44 BC that they killed him. So it was 2 years later that they enacted that?
These geniuses have finally figured it out.
Yeah.
We have to check on this because we can't lead our listeners into the wrong information because that was just like yesterday.
Wait a minute. So what year?
Yeah. Let's just put Julius Caesar's death. Maybe I got it wrong.
Yeah, 44 BC.
There you go. Okay. I thought I got it right.
Okay, so
All
let me
right.
type in.
So they did it afterwards. That's all.
But it said that he put it in there.
Well, he probably did. He probably had to wait a couple of years to catch up, and he had to make one longer. Who knows? Quetzalcoatl lasted 100 years, and he was dead.
Are they still trying to figure out which came first? 44 or 46 BC?
So hold on. So what came first, 46 BC or 44 BC?
Oh, yes, you're
So
right.
it does make sense.
Right. It's backwards calendar.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
So you talk about the year of confusion.
Yeah, it's a backwards calendar.
All right. Somehow.
Okay, we've solved it. We've solved it.
We've solved the problem, so don't worry. Don't throw out your calendars
We've
just yet.
consulted with our team of experts, and they say the clock went backwards back in the BC, not the AC or DC, which is considered electric. Talk about confusion.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of every show, the last segment is dedicated to news from around the world. These stories are real, and Nick and Roy find them and deliver them to you. There are people out there that just can't get along with their neighbors. But then again, does your neighbor have chickens that poop in your yard?
Angered that a neighbor's chicken had been pooping on the back patio, a Florida woman allegedly
Here we go.
allegedly
Yes, we all have chickens and roosters here in Florida.
that's right, yes. The Florida woman allegedly retrieved a bucket of pee from her bathroom and proceeded to douse the bird's owner with the foul liquid, according to the arrest report.
Oh, it was foul liquid.
That's right.
Foul.
Police busted Christine Turman, 57, on a misdemeanor battery charge following a confrontation on a Sunday evening at the
So
Palm
the
Haven.
birds pooped on her back.
So Christine, the perpetrator, I guess, the criminal, the alleged criminal, the charged, got angry because her neighbor's chicken pooped on her back patio. This happened on a Sunday evening at the.
So she doused her with a bucket of urine.
That's right. It is. They reside at the Palm Haven Mobile Home Park in St. Petersburg, Florida. Cops say Turman was mad at the victim, Lawrence Stencil, due to, quote, his chicken pooping on the back patio, end quote. So Turman, quote, went inside and got a bucket of pee from
Just
her.
happened to have a bucket of pee in there.
She walked out on the back patio and threw
He
the.
said, what am I going to do with this bucket of pee? Let me throw it on that chickadee over there.
She walked out on the back patio and threw the full bucket of pee. End quote. The bucket struck Stencil. Now here's the the really scary part. The bucket struck Stencil in the face, causing him pain.
Oh wait, so she hit him with the bucket as well.
So maybe she threw the bucket and all, not just the pee. Maybe she threw the bucket as well.
Maybe there wasn't a whole lot of pee in there either.
Well, we're not sure. They didn't tell us.
Depends. Maybe she downed one of them Colt 45s. She's in the park. She's in the old trailer park, so she might be.
They don't know how big the bucket was. According to the sheriff, the victim was wet when he arrived and smelled of urine.
Oh, no.
The arrest report does not indicate why
Where was the chicken during this whole event?
We're not sure where the chicken was. You know what? While they're having a pee fight, it was probably in the back patio pooping again.
I bet you the chicken was so scared it laid an egg.
It did. So now apparently
The guy should have picked the chicken up and squeezed it real hard, and it could have pooped all over the woman.
like one of those dessert bags. What do you call them? Like icing bags.
Yeah, I'll fix that chicken. I'll dress up like Colonel Sanders. You see how scared that chicken gets.
That's right. Now, the arrest report does not indicate, this is back to your earlier question, the arrest report does not indicate why Turman had a bucket of waste at the ready.
Yeah, I mean, what happened there? Was she using the bucket maybe inside the trailer?
We're not sure. Again, it's not clear. Turman admitted to her actions after being read her rights. Deputy Levy Blake reported. So
they read her rights,
yeah,
and she went to jail.
She was booked into the county
with a deadly urine bucket.
Right. Well, that's evidence now. It was held into evidence, and she was booked into.
So they never took the chicken in for questioning.
No, they didn't. Turman was booked into the county jail, from which she was released after posting a $500 bond.
And she said, God, I want to stay in there. They have toilets. I use a bucket at home.
Now, this just in, breaking news, Turman's boyfriend, Kevin Avery, was also arrested for allegedly threatening Stencil in the presence of police.
Oh, so what happened is he came probably during the whole event, and he probably tried to stick up for her.
Yeah.
So he probably just pulled it out and started dousing the guy with his own urine, maybe.
We're not sure.
I don't know.
So, again, details as they become available, we will tell you here on Totally Uses Information with Nick and Roy.
Did the cops maybe I wonder if they took any samples to bring in.
Compare the pee?
As evidence. Sure, as evidence.
Yeah, by the way, it is not your pee. By the way, your pH balance is off. That's all the time that we have.
It has to happen in Florida, too, by the way. And, folks, we do have toilets here in Florida, so it's okay to come on down.
That's right. Visit Florida.
You can send Nick and Roy an email. Go to nickandroy.com and click on Contact Us. You're listening to Nick and Roy's Best of and Bloopers. You're listening to Nick and Roy's Best of and Bloopers. Nick and Roy deliver totally useless information season after season. Today, we look back at some of the bloopers and blunders, as well as some of their favorite news stories. Let's kick things off with Nick's ability to stay focused.
Well, let me give you a little brief history of the egg carton, because it was a Canadian invention. In 1906, a man named Thomas Peter Bethel made the jump from basket to box with an invention known as the Raylight egg box, made from wood. No, this is not the right one. Hang on, just a second. 3. Hold on. There we go. 3.
Roy has trouble with some of the things he says, too.
Attention, Globin. Attention,
Attention, hemoglobin.
Hemoglobins. Attention, hemoglobins. Now, take me to your leader.
Nick invited Mark Cullen, one of his radio colleagues from the past. Mark is Canada's favorite gardener. In this clip, Nick tries to play the theme song that aired on the radio. The key word here is tries.
I'm going to bring us back a little bit, and if the audience can indulge us for just a few moments, Mark, your reaction to this.
It doesn't sound like anything to me.
Oh, you don't hear it?
No.
Wait a minute.
Do you hear it, Mark?
There's something there. I heard a little boomty boom. That's all I heard.
Okay, hold on. Let's try this. Thank God I'm an audio expert, huh?
You can always fill it in. What is it?
Yeah, no, I will. It's the old garden show theme that we used to play every week.
I hear it now. Good.
Yeah. Well, you got a little bit more. You squeezed a little more juice out of that lemon.
Yeah.
It's called the Muskrat Ramble, and it's Chet
right.
Atkins who performed that. Now, do you remember that theme?
Oh, how could I forget it? It goes through my head every night before I go to sleep.
You know,
Lucky
Nick
me.
wrote that tune in 1943.
That's right, exactly.
I like to
And
get
Roy
rid of it.
recorded it.
At the end of every show, Mark had a saying, "Keep your knees dirty." When Nick asked Mark where he got that from, Roy piped in with the answer.
Before you go, you always ended your show with "Keep your knees dirty." Where did
That's
that
true.
come from?
A
It came from-
prostitute.
No. No. 3, 2. Where exactly?
Sorry, Mark.
Jesus. This is why this is not a live show, Mark. 3,
Right, I get it.
2.
You're listening to Nick and Roy's bloopers and best of totally useless information. Nick and Roy pride themselves on being able to provide useless information every week. However, pronouncing words correctly can sometimes be a challenge.
Speaking of hot cash, there are ATMs in Japan that heat the banknotes to 392 degrees Fahrenheit for 1/10 of a second. Okay, 392 degrees Fahrenheit for 1/10 of a second. Why? To decontaminate the bills before they're issued to customers. And as a
Well, I thought
result,
the first time you said it, it sounded like you were speaking Japanese.
yes.
Dudiki.
It was to decontaminate the bills. The bills after this process are 90% bacteria free.
Dudiki.
In this next clip, Roy has no problem correcting Nick when it comes to speaking properly.
Elvis was also somewhat of a superstitious 3, 2. Elvis. He played tic-tac-toe. 3, 2.
Roy has been married a long time. He says he has the formula for a happy marriage.
Blah, 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 blah. By the way, that is the new language that I hear after being married for
Almost 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 years. It's it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
From time to time, Nick and Roy feel like telling a joke on the show.
There was a joke where an Italian young lady got married, and she's never been with a man before. And so after the wedding, of course, they didn't go to the honeymoon. They went to the mother's house upstairs. So she comes downstairs, and she says to the mother, Mama, I'm so afraid. He took off his shoes. She goes, don't worry, go up the stairs, and you take care of your husband. She comes back down a few minutes later. She says, Mama, he took off his pants. Don't worry, go back up the stairs, take care of your husband. Now, what we have to tell you is that her husband had a war injury. He only had one foot. So when she came down again, she says, Mama, he has a foot and a half. She says, you stay down the stairs, I go up the stairs. Because he's got a foot and a half.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Not you.
You're listening to Nick and Roy's bloopers and best of totally useless information. Don't forget to check out nickandroy.com. There you will find the full library of episodes that you can catch up on. You can also click on the Nick and Roy store. You can order special birthday and anniversary messages. Remember, nickandroy.com. If you're a fan of the show, you know that Nick and Roy have been friends for a long time. They've always been there for each other, as you can hear in this next clip.
Radar is an acronym. 3, 2. Radar. 3, 2. Yeah. Radar, which is wow. Okay, this is one for the bloopers.
All right, ready? Radar, which is actually an acronym.
Radar, which is actually an acronym.
One of the 18 topics that Nick and Roy cover on the show is inventions. Nick found a product just for you if you're stuck in traffic and really have to use the loo.
Going for long drives can be risky, especially in circumstances where you think you may need, to use the bathroom. Introducing the portable car toilet, which are great for using on the go and makes it easy to use the bathroom without being messy, difficult to clean, or requiring you to go somewhere else specific to use the restroom. Because what if you're stuck in traffic? In comes this wonderful invention,
The portable car toilet.
Exactly. Introducing these portable car toilets, which are great for using on the go and making it easy to use the bathroom. The in-car toilet includes a seatbelt design. It makes it easy to lock into your car when it's time.
Well, that's better because if I'm using it, I got to strap myself in.
That's right.
'Cause if the sunroof is open, I could come flying right out.
That's right. Like one of those marshmallow peeps.
Yeah, you'll hear 3, 2, 1, blast off. We have ignition.
The portable toilet includes a double-layered sealed seat that uses a rubber ring to keep from leaking between compartments. In between the portable toilet seat and the box itself, it's really convenient because it's also space for replaceable 6 to 8 gallon waste collection bags. 6 to 8 gallons.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to hold around in your car. I put that thing on the hood of my car. This way, if there is any leakage, I just turn on the windshield wipers.
It's a new type of washer fluid. So, finally, the bottom of the portable bathroom seat includes the toilet box compartment itself, as well as a fixed buckle for use in the car. Buyers of the portable toilet have positive things to say, with the product getting somewhere between 4 out of 5.
Yeah, they have positive things to say, like, oh.
They rated 4 out of 5. The purchase of this particular portable toilet comes complete with a toilet, a sealing lid, 10 replacement collection bags, a cleaning brush, and a non-slip mat.
I'd hate non-slip mat. That means there was some leakage. And I'd hate to be there when you run out of bags.
Wait, there's more. Plus a Wait, there's also a user's manual.
Okay.
In case you need to know.
Sit, push.
Okay, now this is a serious thing because if you have to go to the bathroom, this is the product for you. Available on Amazon for $86. It is not an endorsement by any means, but I totally use this information with Nick and Roy.
Nick and Roy were discussing the inventors of the Richter scale, Charles Richter and Bino Gutenberg. Roy was trying his best to come up with a joke about how the scale measures earthquakes.
So it was Richter and Gutenberg, huh?
That's correct.
So Richter used the numbers like 7, 8 Richter.
Yes.
On the Richter scale. So it was like an 8 Richter. And Guten used names like strong and very and things like that. So if it was a 9 on the Richter scale, it was it's a tough joke to get out.
I know, okay. I think I know where you're going.
Okay, 3, 2. So if it was a 9 on the Richter scale,
right,
it was a very on the Guten scale. So it was a 9 Richter, very Guten.
Right, very Guten. You know what?
That was about as confusing as your thing.
Listen, that sounded very, very German. It's very Guten.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's Guten.
You're listening to Nick and Roy's Best of and Bloopers.
The Boxing Day sale at Tom's Place is here. As a proud Canadian retailer, this is the right time for the best sale. Hi, Nick and Roy for Tom's Place.
We love bringing you incredible Boxing Week deals all through December. We're here for you every day, except Christmas and New Year's, with amazing discounts waiting.
We are fully stocked with a fantastic range of inventory and eager to move it all. Unbeatable deals on shirts, sweaters, pants, coats, sports jackets, suits, and more. Prices you won't believe.
Like top designers, Ted Baker suits made in Italy and Canada, regularly $900 to $1,100. Get ready, they're incredibly priced, $500. And totally useless information. Listeners can ask Tom. Tom stands for Take Off More. Don't be confused with Tom's last job as a Chippendale dancer. But our listeners, specifically, when you go there, you say, I'm a totally useless information listener, Tom. Can you do more? Can you take off more, Tom?
And they've asked Roy to do that, but then they told him to put it back on. Plus, ask for our gift certificates, the perfect one-size-fits-all gift for anyone on your list.
Check online at toms-place.com. That's toms-place.com for all details about their specials and special hours.
Tom's Place Boxing Week sale happening now at 190 Baldwin Street in Kensington Market. We're ready to suit you. Tom's Place.
You're listening to Nick and Roy's Best of and Bloopers. Roy had a fascinating fact about all of the many uses of rubber. If you know Nick and Roy, you may have already guessed where they went with the many uses of rubber.
Something that we all take for granted is rubber. Now think about it. Nobody even thinks about that. You get in your car, you drive, the tires are made of rubber.
Yeah.
You close the door is insulated with a rubber seal.
Right.
So many things. A rubber garden hose.
Right.
You screw the garden hose on, there's a little rubber gasket inside of it. That rubber is all around us all the time.
Or you're on a hot date.
Exactly. Rubber is a useful, necessary item. I used to carry one in my back pocket in my wallet all the time.
Which is not recommended, by the way, but go on.
Exactly. Leaves that circle. But anyway.
Yeah, that's why.
Leaves that circle in your wallet.
Yeah, you can never get rid of that circle.
One time I was in need of it so quickly, I used the wallet.
Wow. So it's not only rubber, it's rubber and leather.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that change purse? Come on, I'm getting hot and horny. Knowing me, I would show up with the change purse.
I questioned the girl after. I swore I had $25 in that wallet.
What's in your wallet? Not anymore. Nothing left. Oh, wow.
What's in your wallet? Apparently an Italian sausage. That's what...
And zucchini and tomatoes.
Oh my God, I don't even know how you go on. Wow. Well, we take rubber for granted.
We sure do.
The history of rubber goes just like this. Mayan women used to walk through the forest in the jungle, and they would forage for food, pick up mushrooms, things like that. And they would call this particular tree the crying tree because the white sap would run down the sides of the tree. It's not until later on that they began to collect this white sap, which was extremely sticky and thicker than honey. That white sap is latex, and that is what makes rubber. We would eventually call it a rubber tree, and so on and so forth. And guys like Firestone would cultivate these rubber trees and make tires and blah, blah, blah. And the rest is just a rubber history.
Bounce that around in your head for a couple of minutes.
Stick that in your wallet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Part of being on a podcast and radio show is the ability to speak English. Clearly, Nick did not get the memo.
So our next listener...
The listeners?
Yes, he had.
Do they wear spittlers?
Well, he didn't because he has a daughter. If your business is a cleverly named business, send us an email and we'll put you on the show. Go to nickandroy.com. 3, 2.
Let's set a mobile.
Yeah, I see, but yeah. If you play it backwards, it might be English.
Another news story that Nick and Roy covered was the case of the woman who put a tiddlywink up her nose. And it got stuck.
For most of her life, hospital kitchen worker Mary McCarthy often had a pain on the right side of her nose. Last year, after an extremely painful COVID-19 test, because in my teaser I said the headline was COVID-19 actually saved her life, her nasal problems deteriorated. The reason became obvious when a surgeon at a Christchurch hospital extracted a yellow tiddlywinks piece 37 years after it was lodged in her upper nose as a child.
What?
The surgeon also removed calcified material that had grown around the tiddlywinks.
Surgeon worked he worked from the tiddly
and gave
in
her
the nose?
Yes, he grabbed a tiddlywink from her nose 37 years after she lodged it in there. Now, tiddlywinks is the game which was developed in England in the 1860s and it's played with small sets of small discs called winks.
Little tiddlies.
Yeah,
little tiddlies.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
So McCarthy, who's now 45, was recovering, although still in pain and very nasal, was breathing through her right nostril for the first time in 8 months.
How big is a tiddlywinks piece?
Almost the size of a dime.
In her nose for 30-something years.
Yep.
She didn't realize there was a problem.
She remembered that while playing tiddlywinks as a kid, when she was 8 years old, So 37, so that makes her 45. 45 years old. Okay?
30. Oh, my God.
So as a kid, she and her siblings were playing, and then she would stick them up their nose and then blow them out of their nose. Mm-hmm. One time, she accidentally inhaled one of them instead of blowing it out, and she was too scared to tell her mother, so she didn't.
So she hid it there.
She hid it in her nose. She remembered being...
She said nobody will know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows it was in her nose. See, that's what she knew.
Nobody knows it's up there.
That's right. But she remembered being terrified at the time because thinking, where did it go? And then she always had difficulty breathing, like I have difficulty talking, through her nose over the years, but never gave it much thought. But the problem took a turn for the worse.
Uh-oh.
The tiddlywink that caused McCarthy's pain and breathing difficulties started to get lodged. After a COVID-19 nasal swab test, she was in pain for days afterwards.
There it goes.
Then starting developing serious sinus problems. Her nose was leaking constantly and in a lot of pain. She went to several general practitioners, and they put the pain down as a chronic sinus condition.
I had a friend that had a problem like that, the leakiness as well, and the hiding of the tiddlywinks, but not in the nose. The tiddlywinks were hidden in another spot and were not found unless the person hadn't tried to smuggle that cocaine across the border. So cocaine saved the life of a friend of mine.
So luckily, the nurse at the hospital believed it was more than just sinus pain. And I'm ignoring that for a reason. They asked me, because it's a little uncomfortable as you're squirming in your seat, they asked me if I ever put anything up my nose, and I told them about the tiddlywink and sort of laughed it off. Well,
She knew it.
A CT scan revealed an object in her upper nose. And although it did not look like a tiddlywink, he removed it. And while she was awake, by the way, it was too big. And they had to get in there and really dig it out, literally. When she woke up from surgery, she said, "What was it?" And they said, and they were laughing. She was the laughing stock of the hospital. Imagine this poor lady, right? A tiddlywink, and it wasn't even, and it didn't even lose its color after so many years. There was calcification, like we said, and now,
this is disgusting.
and she
I don't
said,
even like when people put their finger in their nose. Nevertheless, a tiddlywink.
she said her nose had grown a little bit crooked, so she was looking forward.
Around the tiddlywink.
She was looking forward to a life of easier breathing and a straighter nose.
So she has the tiddlywink up her nose.
Right.
She goes to the doctor, surgeon. I would assume, was he a famous doctor? Was his name like Dr. Nostradamus?
Yeah, he predicted that he knew what it was. He predicted it in advance.
It was in one of his quatrains. Stupid woman puts thing up nose, tiddlywinker.
Dr. Nostradamus.
That's right, and no more games.
No more games for her. Boy,
But 30-something years, she put the tiddlywink in her nose and she left it there.
Yeah.
She's not a normal person,
No,
Nick.
she's not.
Something's wrong with her.
I'm glad it was a tiddlywink and not a...
Was this in Florida?
No, it was in Christchurch, which is done, I think, in New Zealand, I believe.
Oh, well, yeah, they're not right.
Yeah, I think it was Florida. You know what?
Kiwis.
Listen, it was Florida, New Zealand. That's
Nah,
what
it was Kiwis down in...
In this next clip, Nick has trouble with the word facts.
In fact, they use the same stage. Here's some bonus facts. See, you thought you were just listening to just a few flax. Sure, some flax seeds will help you go. Some flabby.
Play a little tic-tac-toe.
That's right. So you can have some flax seeds while you're watching the game. But what would happen is they would
Good
use.
for your prostate, I tell you.
It is. But I couldn't put my finger on it. So they use the same stage as The Price is Right. And that same stage in CBS Studios was also the same stage that the Carol Burnett show was filmed on. So they
You can send Nick and Roy an email. Go to nickandroy.com and click on Contact Us. You're listening to Nick and Roy's Best of and Bloopers. You're listening to Nick and Roy's Best of and Bloopers. During the recording of Nick and Roy's Christmas special, Nick introduced a list of songs that didn't quite make the top Christmas song list. who couldn't resist Dominic the Christmas monkey?
But the Italians,
Buon Natale.
Buon Natale, they talk about Dominic the Christmas monkey. Sorry, no.
No,
The
donkey.
donkey, sorry. Yeah, hold on, three. It was a different song. Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy. Speaking of donkeys, what about a helping of mules' balls? At least that's how Nick explained it.
How about coglioni di mulo? Coglioni
Yep,
di
I've
mulo.
had that disease.
No, it's not a disease.
She swore, Nick.
No. Listen, coglione di mulo means mule balls.
Oh,
In
cogliones. Cogliones is
Coglione.
Italian for testicles.
Yes, and these are coglioni di mulo, which are mule balls. In reality,
Right, the mulo.
but for those of you animal activists, Peter, put down the phone. The poor mule has nothing to do with it. Mule's balls are simply pork salami. Okay, so the mule was spared, but not the pigs. Okay, so
Right, exactly.
That's right.
Is
So-
it the pig's balls or it's just the pork?
Well, it's the mule's balls are simple pork salami with a how do we put this? A particular shape, and it encases a small cube of lard known as the jewel.
Yep, the jewel. See, is when you put that's disgusting.
It is
What's
white.
this called? A morte pig balls?
No, coglione di mulo, and has nothing to right? It is widespread in the mountain ranges of Umbria, Le Marche, Lazio, and Abruzzo in Italy. A bittersweet, this is a bittersweet part for me personally, and even for Roy to a certain extent. Earlier this year, I lost a dear friend in George Cash. George Cash was Mr. Oktoberfest. He and I have been many friends. I introduced him to Roy in our show. And George, was no secret, he was Santa Claus in a Santa Claus parade for 5 decades and more. And he was just absolutely a character. He and I performed in Joey and Gina's comedy wedding together for 20 plus years, became fast friends.
He was one of the nicest people that I met doing this show. And I honestly have to say, he was a pleasure to talk to and just a really great guy.
We talk every day. If I'm not talking to Roy, I'm talking to George. Those are my only two friends. And then George tells me the story. He says, you won't believe what happened to me. And he's Mr. Oktoberfest, as I said. And so, of course, being Mr. Oktoberfest, he performed at Oktoberfests for many, many, many years. He owns several pairs of lederhosen. Now, Roy, you of being German background, explain to the audience what lederhosen is.
It is a leather garment. I had one when I was a kid. They are either leather pants or leather shorts, usually brown, worn with a white button-down shirt with suspenders. Mm-hmm. And normally in the center of the chest area is something that holds the suspenders together, which normally has a piece of ivory carved out or a piece of edelweiss.
So George was telling me how he had lederhosen in his house and someone came in and stole the lederhosen. And so this is the great lederhosen heist. This story comes to us from Toronto, Ontario. The case of the lederhosen heist. Someone broke into our next guest's home and stole his lederhosen.
We searched and found the actual person who is the victim of this heinous crime. Nick, continue.
So to protect his identity, we're going to just, change his name. We'll call him George. George, welcome to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
I am so glad that you found me, and now I'm finding you, so it's wonderful.
This is good. We need to talk about this, and so that we can protect George, even though we're not on video, we've put a bag over George's head.
I took it off. Oh, that's fine. I'm glad.
Yeah. It's not to protect your identity. That's how we treat our guests.
But we searched out and we found George, the lederhosen heist.
So, George, tell us in your own words, and if you need a moment to grab a tissue or something, let us know. But tell us in your own words what happened to you just a few days ago in your home.
I woke up. I wanted to go to the car. I go to the back steps. All of a sudden, I see my boots are all over the place, and my jacket is not hanging up on the hook. I see another jacket that doesn't belong to me. I shake it. A wallet falls out.
Oh.
Whose wallet is this? I don't know. I go downstairs thinking I left my jacket by the laundry. No, I feel a draft. There's a window that's open in my
You have
basement.
George, did you have pants on when you felt the draft?
Yeah, I had my pants on because I was in my PJs. Because I wear,
Just checking.
yeah. And so I look where the draft's coming from. I have a bookcase, and on top of the bookcase, I had my lederhosen and my lederhosen type shirts, but they're not there.
So let me ask you, George. Can I call you George?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
let's call him George.
George. So George, again, we've protected his identity, so nobody knows. He's actually outside the suburb of Toronto, but we won't identify where he is. So George, if I may, why do you have lederhosen in your house?
Because for many, many years, I've been self-proclaimed as the king of Oktoberfest.
So you
I
realize,
love it.
that your lederhosen has
The
been.
man stole his lederhosen.
So
Yes, but may I interject here?
Yes.
It wasn't the short ones. These were the long ones.
that's
So
it.
you had the full leather pants.
Oh, yeah.
They stole a lederhosen. What other items did he steal?
They stole socks that went with them. They stole the shirts that went with them. They also stole, are you ready for this? At my back door, my winter toque and a pair of leather gloves.
So these people were out for ethnic clothing. I'd say this falls under a hate crime.
Yes. So wait a minute. So he took your your toque, your long leather lederhosen to keep warm, but left his jacket with his wallet in.
Oh, no, not only did he leave his jacket, he also left his jeans. And he also left a pair of Doc Marten boots.
Right.
And that's why I think he stole my lederhosen, because he lost his jeans. I think he had to go wee-wee or something, or maybe he should have gone did the poop business. I don't know, but he took my leather pants.
Okay.
So this guy literally used your house as a changing room.
Yes.
Okay.
I was sleeping.
No, this is wrong.
It was in the morning. I was asleep in my bed. I guess what? Another bing bing on my doorbell.
It's him again?
It's him again.
No.
What do you want? What do you want? Like your
No.
China or something?
Hang on a second. Here's the best part. He said, "Hello, excuse me, but I'm the guy that was in your house," says he.
So he confessed.
Yeah. And the best part is he has a big bag with him. And guess what's in the bag?
Your lederhosen.
My lederhosen,
Wow.
the socks. So when he came to my door, I said, "Could you go around the back of the house and show me how you got in?"
So you asked him to recreate how you got into your
Recreate.
house.
The crime people.
Yes, I wanted to be a cop.
Bring you a pretzel and a beer. But go ahead.
Well, he didn't, because I don't think he knew what the lederhosen was all about.
George is a nice guy. George is a humanitarian.
Yeah.
This is why they call him the king of the Oktoberfest.
Well, that was quite something, and he's dearly missed, and his recording on our shows will live forever.
We want to thank you for listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. They will be back next week after they've scoured the internet and other sources to gather totally useless information just for you. Thanks for listening. Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy has been brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com.